fuck's going on here?
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just the
body punching? I was hitting him with body punching. I heard him actually, he was crying there.
You were saying your Biggs was crying when you hit him? When did that happen?
And perhaps the fourth round on.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
So that you knew you had him by that time?
Absolutely, but I knew he was tough and taking those punches.
unbeaten Productions.
Making women gestures like, oh.
Let's go, champ.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. No, your podcast player is not broken. This is a second episode today, Thursday, flagship Thursday. We will be previewing a lot of fights. We got Claressa Shields moving from 168 pounds down to 160 to take on Hanna Gabriels. Unfortunately, we got to break down and preview this fight. And I've been a fan of Gabriels for quite some time. Never really got the opportunity to watch her box live. This will be a first. She is a bit older than Claressa. On the undercard is Claressa's nemesis, or who they're building up to be her nemesis, right? Christina Hammer will also be on the undercard, putting her titles on the line. Then we have this Saturday in Glasgow, we got the unbeaten junior welterweight prospect Josh Taylor, who's going to be taking on a tough veteran Viktor Postal. We know Postal for being in the ring with Lucas Matisse and Terrence Crawford. So this is a good test for Josh Taylor to show us, does he belong? We also have to discuss what was discussed a little bit earlier. Made some big headwaves. The Golden Boy president, Oscar De La Hoya, firing back at Earl Spence and saying that there's a reason Earl doesn't make the 10s, the 15s, and the $20 million because he doesn't have a promoter. We'll get into that. And then the really good news. If you're like me, a hardcore boxing fan, if you're like me, this is the only thing that you watch. You're not a football guy or a foosball or rugby or whatever they're playing in all those weird places. The World Boxing Super Series has finally found an American broadcaster. I don't know if we could call it American broadcaster or not, as DAZN hasn't officially announced their American deal. We know that one is coming, and we've heard rumors about price. But it looks like DAZN has acquired the rights to the next two World Boxing Super Series and definitely to the second season of the tournaments, which is going to include the 140-pound Regis Prograis and the super bantamweight division, as well as another division that has yet to be announced. So those are just a few of the topics. I mean, we're going to be talking a little bit David Benavidez. I'm sure Rob has some other UK guys that we got to touch up on, but we got a jam-packed show. Ain't nothing changed. Remember the number 1425-569-5241. Press 1 time to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline, or jump on Skype and add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation. Let's go out to Robbie in the UK.
unbeaten Productions.
BJ was gonna beat me, didn't you? You predict he's gonna beat me. He got smashed.
Why is Wilder sold out 90,000? This guy has been pro for like 8 years, 9 years. If Wilder wants some of his work, you can definitely get it on ASAP.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Quite a few fights to talk about today. Obviously, Ned said Claressa Shields dropping down in weight. I guess most people usually go up through the weights, but she's going down for some vacant titles. Josh Taylor, Viktor Postol this weekend over here in the UK. We've also got, Martin Murray's card that should have been with Saunders, with Daniel Dubois and Anthony Yard also on there. And like Nez said, he done a show about it earlier, but we can I didn't get to call in, so I can have my say on Oscar taking shots at Errol Spence. So yeah, plenty to talk about. Let's get it going.
Well, let's jump into it, man. I don't even know how long it's been. I'm not a historian. Never claimed to be. Don't want to be. I mean, I actually had a conversation with Robert Ortiz, our resident rock star, the other day. And he's like, hey, man, you should start doing some historical shows. You know, you'll probably get some of your older listeners that enjoy it. And it's like, I think not. That being said, I don't know when there's been another women's boxing event of this magnitude with this much hardware on the line. I mean, they're going for undisputed. All the belts are on the table. And Claressa is already daring to be great by dropping down, something we don't normally see. We usually see people moving up in divisions, not dropping down. The difficult part is, I guess the U.S. public, we know a little bit about Claressa, right? We've gotten to see a few of her fights on TV. But Hanna Gabriels, you really had the YouTuber. Did you know her before this announcement?
I'll be honest, I heard the name, but as far as like how good she is and things like that, I'm not massively clued up on her. But obviously, I've seen Claressa and know about the amateur background a little bit, and obviously she's 5-0 now as a pro, and she looks the real deal now. I think women's boxing is really getting to a point where there's a little bit more competitive nature to it. I think in the past we've had a star, and then the rest of them haven't really lived up to, you know, making it competitive and sort of compelling to watch. But women's boxing is really picking up now, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looks like it's going to be a good fight. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Obviously, Claressa's going to be the favorite, I'd imagine, and yeah, she's like the star of women's boxing, especially over in the States. Obviously, with Katie Taylor, this side of things. But yeah, it's exciting.
What division is Katie Taylor? Could these two ever meet? Because I spoke to Claressa, and she started at 168. This fight's at 160, but I think that the Hammer fight is at 54. What did Hammer weigh in today?
I'm not sure. I'll try and look that up. But Katie Taylor's lightweight.
Lightweight. Wow. So she's got a long way to go in order to be able to reach that.
Yeah. I mean, it's always been talked about. I saw an interview with Claressa Shields, and she's really, I think that her and Taylor are actually quite good friends. But, you know, it's always been spoke up in the past of whether Katie Taylor goes up in the weights and they eventually meet, and it'd be a great fight. But, you know, lightweight to middleweight, it's a bit of a jump, you know, so soon. But
lightweight for our casuals is 130, right? Or is it 135?
135, right? I think. Yeah.
So she would have to at least meet her at 54.
Yeah, because is that the plan for Claressa? She's going to go down to 54 as well?
Yeah. That's what she told me. She wants to get to 54. And I believe that's where that's where the fight is at, the Christina Hammer fight. She defends her WBC and WBO titles. So yeah, it looks like she wants to get down to that weight. Now, I never heard of Christina Hammer's opponent though, Nelson, unless it's the girl that just fought on the HBO card. I'm not even sure. You know, I know that all the promoters are kind of investing more in female boxing. Her name is Tori Nelson.
She just fought Claressa Shields.
Ah, no wonder she felt familiar.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's the thing with this women's boxing. There's so few of them. I know that there is with Lou DiBella, he has another one by the name of Alicia Napoleon. Then obviously Raquel Miller is also fighting this weekend, who has some history with Claressa, I believe. I think she's lost to Claressa. So actually, it says here that Christina Hammer is also at 160. So I wonder who's the 54-pound champ, because she told me she wants to get down to 154 eventually.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's interesting. So I wonder why Christina Hammer never fought Hanna Gabriels all this time, and why are they holding the same belt if they're both in the same division? This is a little weird to me. This is what happens, you know. For us men, women's boxing is we're pretty casuals to this.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The female side of things, my interest has grown in it. I think obviously as the standard has grown, it's starting to become, and you know, they're getting TV time. Obviously, was it what's her name? Breakhouse she was on HBO televised. So Baracus, I think, I can't remember how you call it.
Baracus.
Yeah, she was on HBO. You know, TV time, wasn't she, just recently? So, you know, they're making great strides, and you know, we'll have to just see how I'm just trying to see Hanna Gabriels.
I'm checking
154.
out. Hannah's a 154.
Yeah,
they're fighting at 60 for the vacant international IBF and for the WBA.
Yeah, both vacant titles. Yeah,
and Hannah's bringing to the table a WBA, but from another division. So are they just using the belts for pictures?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's like her bout and then Clarissa's bouts plus the vacant bouts. I guess, yeah,
right, because there's not even a WBC on the line, and that's probably because if you check Christina, she holds the WBC at 60.
Yeah,
she holds
and the WBO as well, and Gabriel holds the WBO 54 as well.
54. So I guess this was the title she was going for, but she really didn't get down to the weight. I don't know. When I spoke to her, she was supposed to get down to 54, but I guess there's some vacant titles she could scoop up and then unify with Christina Hammer. And at the same time, Gabriels attempts to be a 2-divisional champ by moving up, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Now, the funny thing is that this is like our main event of the weekend, yet it's happening on Friday.
Oh, it's Friday? Okay.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah. Yeah, you know, you get just little lows, I guess. Not that I'm saying this is a low, but on a Saturday we've not really got much. We can look at the schedule and see who's fighting on Saturday, but yeah, it happens. You know, we don't get blockbuster cards every weekend, unfortunately, but
I mean, I'm excited about this one, to be honest. I like the way that Claressa fights, and you know, I wanted to say this at least. Like, we sit here and we talk about star appeal or what a boxer is lacking, and I think that she has it all in terms of marketability, right? Like, she's already proven the hard work and dedication. She started at 68, grabbed some titles there, dropping down one division to grab some more. Now, outside of that, she has 2 gold medals. I mean, this is like Gamboa, Lomachenko, Rigondeaux status. You know what I mean? And we're not really giving her the praise. And thirdly, she's very active in terms of punch output. She shows good speed. Power is the issue. I know she has kind of like a thing about it. She doesn't like people to think that she doesn't have power. So we'll see what happens now that she's moving down. Is the power going to carry or not? But
I think she's just super active, lots of combinations, and you know, real, you know, fast hands and stuff. I think you know, that's plenty. We know you know, boxers in the male side of things that don't necessarily have the power, but they more than make up for it in all the other skill sets. So, you know, power's not
a barometer of this fight, because they both have around a 40% KO ratio. And I mean, Christina Hammer and Claressa Shields, who ultimately the networks want to meet. That's who they want to meet down the line. That's why Hammer's always been in the ring every time Claressa fights. So Hammer has about 22 fights, but 10 knockouts. It still works out to be the same thing. So the Tori Nelson fight works out in our favor. Because if Hammer can knock her out, maybe we get just a little bit more excited that there's some danger there, since Claressa could not, and Claressa really hit it with everything she had.
Yeah. You just want to set it up and real pique the interest, and I think that would be a big moment for British boxing. Sorry, women's boxing. If
we're gonna talk Josh Taylor in just a bit.
Yeah, we'll get there. No, a big moment for women's boxing. Fight, like a real, like a unification or an undisputed or something to really, throw women's boxing into the spotlight. I think that'd be really good for the the women's side of things. It would be, maybe grab a lot more casuals or some of the hardcore male supporters that have been like women's boxing, whatever, who care. I think we've seen a slight change towards, appreciating the women's game, and something like this, a big fight like that, would surely grab more attention as well. So
I just hope that enough people tune in, right? Because like I was leading with, how we put this pressure on the Wilders and the Javantas and everybody of the world to kind of promote themselves. She's doing that. I just want to read some quotes here because she's self-proclaimed greatest woman boxer of all time. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
And I quote, opening quote, "After my second fight, I told Mark Taffet what my dreams were. My goal was to fight Christina Hammer, my 7th fight, to take all her belts. That's the way that I saw it going. But my professional career took off very fast, and that's why I'm the greatest female fighter of all time. I say that because where I'm from, in Flint, Michigan, people have dreams all the time. But we're not given the opportunity. I was in a dark place from the ages of 5 until I was 17. For someone to take away my accomplishments and say that I'm not the greatest of all time, you have to show me. When I'm in the gym training 2 times a day, I think about what I went through, what my family goes through, and I push myself. When somebody says that they're going to beat me, it angers me. I get mad. I want to punch the bag until it falls. When you tell me that I'm not the greatest woman of all time, I really hope Hannah trained hard, because it's going to be an easy task. I really hope that Christina Hammer has trained hard, because in the future, it's not going to be an easy task either to beat me. You're going to have to kill me. I'm not going down. She needs to write some of her shit for some of these guy fighters that don't talk. Look, I mean, just the fact that she's willing to die in the ring, other people need to say that. It just gets the writers writing, I guess, the birds chirping.
Yeah, she talks good game. I like it, and proper backs herself, and
Yeah, she's got that Lomachenko going on. Check her out. She's like, and I quote, "I'm the fastest woman to win a world title. I did it in my 4th fight. I was 21 years old, and I was coming off of winning 2 Olympic gold medals. I whipped this body into shape. In the Olympics, you fight 4 2-minute rounds. June 22nd, we're fighting 10 2-minute rounds. I've been a pro for a year and a half, so you can't tell me I haven't worked hard to get where I am. When I say that I'm the greatest woman of all time, I've proved it. I have the belts. I have the gold medals. There's more footage of me boxing out there than any other woman. Every fight, I improve. Just because somebody has been a professional more than me, it's not going to make it any easier for you. You have to come in here and you have to show me. I'm fighting for the best. And if anybody ever stands up to me, man or woman, I'll never lose. I can't wait till Friday." Oh, man, she got me a little bit excited on the real. She does. Wow. That was, I could feel it, bro. It's funny because I never understood the whole Floyd Mayweather thing. I don't know if you know, but I'll tell you a story. Obviously, her and Floyd are from the same, state, Flint, Michigan. And she won gold medals. She's obviously a fighter. He's obviously a fighter, a promoter. And we've even done shows in the past about how, you know, she's asked for Floyd's recognition via tweet, like, hey, Floyd, I won another medal. Give me a retweet. And he ignored it. We've done shows how he signed the only woman to, I think, beat her or lose to her. I don't know.
Savannah Marshall. Yeah.
So
she beat her in the Emmys.
So it's like, what's up with Floyd? Why not back somebody from your own hometown doing it just as big as you, talking as much shit as you? You're the GOAT. Well, she's the fucking GWOAT, right? Like
she's a GWOAT. Yeah, I know. Maybe whether it's man or woman, he ain't having no one having the GOAT label.
I know. You don't want to share the TBE label with no one.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's strange you wouldn't give a shine, especially from the same state. And I don't know if they went to the same fucking high school and everything as well. But yeah.
Well, look, I'm going to take a ride on the dark side. I'm going to talk about what obviously, you know, many probably won't speak of. They'll probably say, oh, you're a pig. That's sexist, all that, right? But then those same writers will turn around and say, oh, Oscar de la Hoya brings the women. He puts the women in the seats. Anthony Joshua brings the women. So we have to speak of the beauty on the main event before we move on to Josh Taylor. Like, I just want to say, I've always been a fan of Hanna Gabriels, strictly off looks. Like, it wasn't even the skills. It was just like, whoa, she's Costa Rican. She's fucking badass. So just in case anybody's listening, and you're like, oh, I don't really dig women's boxing. Oh, Clarissa's probably going to just take these titles. At least go see who she's beating up, if she gets to beat up. We're going to read some Hanna Gabriel quotes, too, because, again, you know, I've been following her for a while. It's just unfortunate that's who she – I remember when Claressa told me in my face, like, I'm following Hanna Gabriel. I'm like, what? No. Like, hell, I didn't want that. Like, but, yeah. She's pretty as fuck, okay? So definitely check her out and help her bring asses to the seats, right? Because that's what it's all about. Selling tickets, being marketable, and sex sells. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you got Anthony Joshua like in fucking oil in every picture he takes. You know what I mean? Because sex sells, and it's no different for these women. I mean, look at her shirt, right? For the fucking face-off, like. You know what I mean? You see Claressa now and Christina Hammer, they're all business in tracksuits. Hannah's, she's throwing a sex appeal out there, and you can't hate on that, right? Like, that's just part of it. So definitely tune in. But let me read you some of Hanna Gabriel quotes, which, you know, isn't that many. Woman of few words. I think Claressa is a great fighter. Opening quote. I think Claressa is a great fighter. I think she's accomplished a lot. I wish that I got the chance to go to the Olympics, but when I started women's boxing, wasn't an Olympic sport. I didn't have the chance. I just want to stop there. When she started, Olympic boxing wasn't even in the Olympics for women, so I'm just saying she's old, right? But I think she's only 36. I really do think she's only 36. If you want to double check while I keep reading this.
Yeah.
Let me see. So she said, I didn't have the chance. And I'm just happy that so many women are now able to dream about that and accomplish that. I only have one amateur fight, and people laugh at me for that. I didn't have the same opportunities coming up in Costa Rica. I didn't have the privilege, and it's very difficult. I didn't have the opportunity to fight anybody, so I turned professional, and here I am. My path has been difficult and unexpected. Many people thought I was too old. Oh, shit, she's talking about me. I just said that. By the time I got started, it's been an amazing journey, and I came prepared for this fight. When you are a true competitor and you like to push yourself to the fullest, then you like great competition. I'm glad Claressa and I will be facing each other on Friday. I hope everybody enjoys the fight. Not really a woman of confidence. I mean, I'm not saying that she's not, because she's obviously saying, look, I've been doubted before. They told me before when I only had one amateur fight that I was crazy. They told me before, you know, that I was too old when I first started. So I guess she is kind of saying what we want to hear, but she's not really saying it. She's saying it more in that Terrence Crawford way, where we got Claressa saying it in the motherfucking Tyson Fury, Dillian White, Deontay Wilder way, you know?
Yeah. Very quick. She's 35. So, Yeah, but yeah, she was doing the kind of respectful thing, you know, Clarissa's a good and this, that, and the other. And then whereas Claressa was like, I don't care if it's a man or a woman, they're going, they're going down. So
He's on some Terminator shit.
yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be, you know, hopefully we see some, you know, get some good rounds and it'll be entertaining fight.
We'll see what sort of fireworks they bring us this time around. Let's move on to your subject. I guess you open it up with it, brother. I mean, he's definitely not Kelly, and by that I mean John.
Yeah, too many Joshes.
They look totally different. He's not even signed to a familiar promoter. Who the hell is Cyclone Promotions? First of all,
Barry McGuigan
knows this guy.
It's where Frampton was with, and they're having the court case with Barry McGuigan. No.
Yeah. I got it.
Yeah. No, I just didn't know if you.
Game of son and trainer and Barry. Yeah, I got it. But it sucks that he signed to them because I mean, Carl Frampton just left, huh?
Yeah. He bit of a dispute. It's all going on still right now, but yeah, he's obviously gone over to Frank Warren. But yeah, Josh Taylor. Yeah, we're really excited about him this side of the pond. He looks a real deal, and he's fighting Viktor Postal this weekend. For those who don't know, Taylor's 12-0 with 11 knockouts. I think the only man to stop Miguel Vasquez. Had a lot of beef with Ahara Davis, and he sorted that out, no problem. Yeah, he's a real talent, and there's talk, although he kind of said in an interview he hasn't had the conversation yet, but it would be amazing to be in it. But he's rumored to be going to be going in the World Boxing Super Series, so that would be
that would be good. I mean, what sort of relationship does Cyclone Promotions have with Matchroom? Do they normally do, like, are they rubbing elbows?
I'm not too sure how they've worked together, but you know, although you're saying Matchroom, but you know, the World Boxing Super Series is its own thing. I think you're linking it kind of to.
Well, I'm linking
Eddie Hearn's.
I'm looking at
which
we'll talk about later, but obviously the Zone has the rights to the WBS.
Yeah, but that's sort of up to the Zone to purchase the extra. You know, the deal with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn is sort of separate from the other content that they're going to be providing. And this was always kind of rumored that this would be a perfect fit for the Zone to try and add the World Boxing Super Series to their programming. And obviously that's added a whole bunch of extra dates on top of the what was it? 16 fights, American fights, and 16 of the UK fights. So that's going to be like almost, depending how it's spread out, but almost a fight card every weekend. So, you know, when you throw in 3 weight divisions in a tournament situation into the schedule as well, that's, you know, it's a whole bunch of other fight cards. So yeah, and I think all the announcements regarding DAZN and everything like that are coming out first week of July. So that's where all the haters and the doubters are going to see who Eddie's signed. Apparently, he's going to be revealing details on the first 2 cards. He's going to have fighters that he's signed at the press conference or the announcement, and discussions of what the first 2 cards on DAZN are going to be. So, but yeah, Josh Taylor. Anyway, back to that. He's you know, real strong prospect, and he looks real good. I urge any boxing fan that maybe hasn't seen him in action, go check him out on YouTube or wherever you can find it. Yeah, he's one of our real hot prospects over here. So yeah, go check him out for sure.
Yeah, so obviously this fight's going to be taking place in Glasgow. But I just want to read some of Josh Taylor's quotes because here on this show, we're kind of infamous for having that whole debate on UK fighters or just fighters in general wanting to fight in the US or not feeling satisfied as a fighter until they fought in the US. Some fans believe, no, you know, you don't got to come to the US. But obviously, and I quote, every fighter's dreams of fighting in the US, and I'm no different. Las Vegas, Madison Square Garden, they're iconic places in boxing and where the big fights happen. I love to go over for a massive fight and then bring the belts back to Scotland and maybe after that defend a world title at Edinburgh Castle. That'll be amazing. Taylor obviously is taking a huge step up, and I want to say this is a bit of a crossroads fight. Obviously for Taylor, if he loses, we'll give him a pass. But for Postal, he's kind of in no man's land if he loses to a prospect. Now, obviously, this is a heavily touted prospect, one that seems to be the stronger man and the better puncher out of the two. Postal did show some sneaky power when he did what he did to Lucas Matisse's orbital bone, but Taylor is proven to be the bigger puncher, or at least I'm going to go with him, being as though he's been able to stop Miguel Vasquez, who's someone who I kind of rate or rank highly. He's a difficult boxer. He's a good mover. So for Taylor to stop him, he knows how to cut the ring off, and he obviously has good power. Then I remember the little domestic beef, you know, him and O'Hara Davis. Really give credit to O'Hara Davis for making as much noise as he did. You know, he got really disrespectful with Mayweather, and that made some headwaves. So you kind of were forced to know who O'Hara Davis was and who he was fighting, and then boom, he fucking lost. It was like, oh shit, big mouth. Now your mouth is shut. Or is it that Josh Taylor is that good? We'll find out, because Viktor Postal will be the biggest name on his resume, and we really don't know where Postal is at this point, because, I mean, I need Jeffrey to pronounce whoever he just fought in September. Jeffrey, are you there? Are you available?
Oh, please, God, don't ask me to read it.
Enough.
Yeah. Say one more time. Rob was busy.
Hamshid Najmedinov.
Hamshid Bagjack is who he fought. Postal's 34. We just spoke about someone else being 36, Hanna Gabriels, and said that was old, which sucks, you know? It sucks to be in boxing, bro. It's like, yo, 36 and you're fucking old. 34 and you're old. It's like, no way, Jose. Shit. Right, Rob? You're probably over there like, damn, if that's all, I'm fucking over here. I'm Santa Claus, you know?
Yeah. I ain't dancing around no ring at this age. But yeah, I mean, you look at Postal's career. It's the odd knockout, you know, dispersed throughout UD. So you got to question the power there, I guess. 12 knockouts in 29 wins. So yeah, I think Josh Taylor does this quite comfortably, to be honest.
Let's hope, because I mean, to be honest, Vasquez is the biggest name on his resume. You know, this could be too much too soon. O'Hara Davis is nobody. O'Hara Davis was domestically, you know, blown up to get to us, but we shouldn't know him. I mean, he was not good enough to stay with Matchroom. They dropped him, and now he's with Warren. And that's over there. That's like, Warren is like, what's that place the Superman sends everybody? Warren's the Phantom Zone, bro.
I mean, O'Hara Davis is fighting this weekend as well against Paul Kamanja for the world
Phantom Zone.
For the
Josh Taylor, you know who he's fighting. Who the fuck is that? We need Jeffrey for that. What was that?
Cool. Paul Kamanja.
Paul Kamanja. What little flag does he got next to him? Where's he from? Kamanja.
He's the Republic of Congo.
Oh my goodness.
But it's for the World Boxing Council International Super Lightweight title.
Oh, the I don't give a shit title. Okay.
Yeah. While we're on that card, I'll quickly bring up this is the card that was supposed to be Murray Saunders. Obviously, Saunders pulled out with apparent injury. But then there was talk of getting either Canelo or Golovkin, which is obviously, after that fight's been signed, has left him out there. And now they're talking, I don't know if
where Murray's at now.
Say again?
Murray. He got another fight.
Yeah, he's up against Roberto Garcia, and it's for the WBC silver middleweight title.
It's also on the Phantom Zone network.
Along with Anthony Yard, Daniel Dubois,
Oh man, poor Yard, man. When's his contract over, bro? I know that he doesn't have a lot of amateur background, so it's like kind of good that Warren is taking his time with him. But like, I mean, you don't think that guy should be getting some TV time? Like, I don't know. Maybe he's getting TV time over there, and I'm being stingy wanting to be on TV over here. I don't know. I think he looks the part, right? And I'm not talking skills. I mean, again, we're talking marketability. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
You could sell that guy.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he gets TV. He's on virtually every Frank Warren card over here. So, and he's usually on with Daniel Dubois.
I mean, over here.
Yeah. I'm just saying about you were saying, about what TV time he gets here as well. But yeah, I mean, and apparently, he's turned down 2 world title opportunities already. I think one was to be mandatory to my brain's gone. But one was with Kovalev. Apparently, they turned the Kovalev fight down, and I'm forgetting who he was offered for mandatory. I think was it for the IBF in his division? Yeah, brain's gone. But I mean, he's the European champion and the intercontinental champion for both with the WBO. But yeah, I don't think he's definitely marketable. Definitely he talks well. Pretty slick, and he does a lot of that. We see on his IG and stuff. We see a lot of that pad work that sort of Floyd Mayweather kind of pad work.
That word Jamal Charlo talks about.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, and then we've got Daniel Dubois on the card as well. Little bit of beef in this one with a guy I know you guys won't know, but Tom Little is for the English heavyweight title. And Tom Little has been really giving a lot of shit out to Daniel Dubois, and they had the press conference, and Dubois kind of sort of fired back a little bit, and this Tom Little was like, "Oh, I finally got him to talk. Do I get a pay rise for that?" And he sort of spun around to look at Frank Warren to say, "Oh, do I get a pay rise for that? I've got your guy to speak up a little bit." But yeah, I mean, Daniel Dubois, I'm sure is going to be wound up and looking to take Tom Little's head off. But yeah, that's just a little highlight for people, this side of the pond and anyone over there listening, but that wants to watch or find a stream or whatever. But yeah, Martin Murray's got his still got his fight, so and it's for the silver title. I don't know if that means a title shot any time around the corner, but he's looking for a fight close to the end of his career.
It'll get him somewhere. It'll inch him somewhere else. Not having a silver title and having a silver title, it definitely means something. So you're better off with one than without it. That is for sure. So Taylor is on Box Nation. I wonder if I can watch that.
No, Josh Taylor will be on, I think it's Channel 5 over here. The Murray card is on Box Nation.
Oh, shit.
They're different cards.
So Taylor's definitely a post YouTube video.
More than likely for you, yeah.
For Americans. Or is Top Rank doing anything for that? Or do they not? Are they not?
I don't think that's picking up. That's on completely free TV over here. Channel 5's a free. I don't know what the equivalent would be over there. Like, I guess like Fox Sports or something. I don't know. Is that or NBC or something like that? It's a free channel over here. It's not like a cable subscription channel.
Well, I guess we've been talking about it. We might as well kind of skip over Earl, come back to that. The multiple sources are reporting, but obviously one of the biggest outlets is ESPN, reporting that DAZN streaming service, which is set to launch soon here in the U.S., will be the American broadcast partner for the next season, of the World Boxing Super Series. Now, what exactly does that mean, Robbie?
Well, they're going to be picking up the fights for you guys to watch. Finally, you didn't get. It was real hard work for you guys to see the World Boxing Super Series last time around. There was fights you wanted to see there. their streaming of it from their own website or whatever, I think was a problem for a lot of people. It didn't work, or it froze up and stuff. And I think there were rumors that some of the finals and stuff for this current one were going to be picked up by ESPN or someone like that, but it didn't actually happen. So this time around, once DAZN is launched, for people that are prepared to get that subscription, you're going to be getting not only the Matchroom cards and whatever Matchroom USA cards Eddie puts together, but you also got the World Boxing Super Series, and there's going to be three divisions in the tournament. Yeah, I think Progress is going to be in there. I can't remember some of the other names, but yeah, a lot of people I think wanted to see it last year, or this time the first World Boxing Super Series, but it was just real difficult, especially for the Americans to tune in to watch it.
I know, like Alexander Usyk and Murat Gassiev, they're going to meet, and they're scheduled to take place this month or next month. Next month, July 21st, and
yeah,
it's going to happen in Moscow. So, unfortunately, DAZN isn't picking up the finals of last year's WBSS. But the good news is that they are picking up the bantamweight and junior welterweight tournaments, as well as a third division that hasn't been announced yet. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm happy. They're bringing it to me. I'm definitely gonna try and watch it. Now, what sucks? This is another service. This is another bill.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we'll have to see if the rumored $20 is the final thing. I think it's going to be
is 15.
Yeah, so I think it will be a little less than the rumored 25, but the rumored 20, sorry, but and I hope it is, because obviously you've got ESPN at $5, which to a lot of people, whether the content on there is going to be worth it or not, it's still $5 is $5 compared to 20, right? So, or 15. So hopefully they can come in at a price that's going to be, good for people to watch, because I just don't want it to be a thing where like fuck that, I'm not paying for it and people are missing out. I guess they're going to find a way to watch it somehow, but if Eddie's going to be buying up big fights and people over there don't want to pay to watch it, then
let's just hope that all these tournaments go off without any glitches. Everyone stays healthy, because as you know, the super middleweight final between George Groves and Callum Smith has yet to be scheduled due to George Groves' injuries in the semifinals. So that one hasn't even been concluded, and that's the biggest issue with tournaments. Even in the Super Six with Andre Ward, we seen guys like Andre Durrell get out. And James, what's this guy's name? Taylor. What's his Taylor? Oh, Taylor. What's the first name? Taylor. He ended up doing crack. What's his Taylor? Oh, what's that first name? All right, we'll come back to it. Let's go out to Mr. Church.
What's up, man? Yeah. I just want to say I said fuck you.
Stay focused. Stay working my dad. Right, boxing voice. If he comes to fight, then I'm going to do it for him.
I said fuck you.
I think you accurate.
Yes, part of my tardiness, I wanted to be here a little early. Hello, everybody on the YouTube and on the stream live across the world. It is me, Enrique Church, aka the Casual Fan, and it is my duty and my pleasure to approach the topics that excite us all. Right, this weekend for me, most exciting, of course, is Claressa Shields versus Hanna Gabriels, and then the undercard, that the Hammer girl that's supposed to be meeting her, and it kind of ties into my thoughts of like, when Oscar De La Hoya was saying, yeah, you need this promotion to have that plan, that long-term plan. And I think that person is Lou DiBella, right? Has that long-term plan.
That's
who's that?
The lead promoter of Claressa Shields.
Who is he? I missed that.
Demetrius Salida.
Well, look at that. Pardon me, Demetrius, but it's a hell of a job, hell of a fight card. Got me interested, because I've never been interested in women's boxing until Claressa Shields, two-time gold medalist, with a story behind her that's being put out there. So I don't know if that's the promoter giving the publicity and part of the engine of moving this girl into something special, which she is becoming. And yeah, the same thing. You know, Hanna Gabriels, she's beautiful. Another different face in boxing. We're not used to that. So
yo, it's funny because I highlighted that. I was like, yo, fuck it. When we talk about these guys, we talk about the guys that could bring in the women. We need to talk about these girls that a damn sure get me to
right. See, I follow her on Instagram and I'm like, damn, she look good. Damn, she could fight. But then when they put her next to Claressa Shields, I'm like, damn, could she really fight? You know what I'm saying? Because Claressa Shields can fight, as we know. So we may be surprised and we may not. I know that the girl, the Hammer, what's her first name? Is it Christina Hammer? Anybody know? Anybody know? Christina Hammer is fighting the girl who's a school bus driver who Claressa Shields just rode over her all 10 rounds or whatever, however long it went. So yeah, I unless Christina Hammer first punch gives this girl an 8 knee count and then the second punch finishes her, I don't see what we learned from her. But you know, moving forward,
I think that we learned this though. Because maybe you didn't think about this. Claressa took all 10, right? So
all 10.
If Hammer could show us that she got the hammer, then there's that element of power. Like, oh shit, she got more power than Claressa.
Right.
What Claressa couldn't do. So that's what we learned. There's a barometer here because it's a common opponent.
Right. And that's why I said if she throws the first punch and the girl takes the 8 count, then yeah, you know what I'm saying? We'd be like, wow, she is a problem. But other than that, we won't learn anything. Right. So get that off the book since that was page 1. I'm sure you guys touched on that. Let us start with Josh Taylor, right? Versus Viktor Postol. Robbie, who wanted me to understand the potential of Josh Taylor in the group chat that we have in 135 pounds, I believe, right? I looked him up. He's a super lightweight division. He's brought to my attention with Robbie with 2 texts with links of fights of guys I do not know, right? So I look him up from the UK. He's now 3 years and 12 fights deep. Viktor Postol, on the other hand, who broke Lucas Matisse's face up, and this was the guy that before Lucas Matisse was being avoided by Danny Garcia, allegedly, right? I'm using air quotes, and you know, shut down by Terrence Crawford immediately. Now we never heard back from him. Now he's writing a letter with Josh, what's his name? Josh Taylor, right? So I'm trying to understand, why is that fight the happy meal of the weekend in the UK? Is there a prize in there? Like, where does it go from there? What's the path to who wins that fight, Robbie?
No, it's just everyone gets excited that know him over here and look forward to seeing him fight. And obviously, we spoke of it earlier. Postal's, you know, a step up, or you know, going to be a big name on his resume. And then from there, rumors are he's going to head into the World Boxing Super Series with the likes of Regis Prograis and people like that. So it's
that will be big, but I just don't think it does.
I think so too.
If you beat Viktor Postol, you don't need the tournament, right? Do you? Unless all the belts are there.
What happened to, what does he gain from Viktor Postol? What belt?
Well, Viktor Postol only lost to Terrence Crawford, homie.
But if he loses to him, then we say what? We say, yo, he's great.
If he loses to Viktor Postol, some of us will give him a pass and say, oh, he was too young. He was only 12-0.
No, I meant the other way around. If Viktor Postol loses to him, I meant to say.
That's what I'm saying. It's great for Josh, and he don't need to go to no WBBS, in my opinion. Whoever's promoting him at that point is like, yo, he's coming off a Postol win. Like, that's good news. Then he can, I mean, and don't get me wrong, then you can start navigating him. Like, you get the attention by beating Postol, then you put him in there with a Hank Lundy. There ain't no way he could knock you out. But could sell a fight for you. And it's American known. Been on HBO, been on Showbox, been on ESPN. Everybody knows his story.
Right. Everybody does know his story, and we bragging and boasting about him today, right? A 12-0 prospect beats Viktor Postol. Now, since we're connecting, you know, Errol Spence and Oscar De La Hoya and talking about promotion and stories and building up a superstar. So you think not going into the Super 6 or whatever it's called, that tournament, that he still can become a superstar?
Oh, I think he's a skilled enough fighter, and it's just, if, like Nez says, if all the bouts are there and all the bigger names are in the tournament, it's kind of, what does he do while that tournament's going on, you know? He's
but Robbie, like you said, Cyclone, and I'm like, who's Cyclone? Does Cyclone have that power, that house?
No, they don't, and you're probably right, because 140 is the tournament, and that mean Teller's moving up.
No. I think Kaz just said the weight number is wrong.
Okay. Because yeah, I mean all the
No, hold on. That's not wrong. The weight number he's fighting in is 135 pounds. Super lightweight. Google that shit.
Okay.
You got me. You got me. You got me.
Got me.
I looked the kid up. I looked him up. AKA facts.
Fighting that super lightweight title, WBC silver super lightweight title.
Yo, that means 135, yes?
Probably easier for
I don't know, because all his fights were at 130, 140, bro. He's been fighting at 140 for the last maybe 6 or 7. So that's interesting. BoxRec doesn't have it listed yet. But let me see. Oh, you know what? Psycho Promotion. I don't even have let me see if Frank sends something on this guy.
You know, like I opened up the show. You know, I'm here with the best information I come across, aka facts. And I came across that Googling this kid and looking him up and find out who he was and who his past was. And Miguel Vasquez, I do not know him. So
you don't know the puppet?
Don't know the puppet. The puppet's a bad alias, by the way. That means somebody's controlling you. You know,
he's controlling you.
I don't know. That's the ventriloquist.
El Títere. So I don't know if that translates to the puppet master or not. My bad.
Possible.
You know.
Now you know if you don't know. Títere to me means like a street person, like a thug or something.
No, not tigre.
Oh.
El Títere.
Títere.
Probably got me pronouncing it all wrong now.
Yeah.
The only Taylors I got popping up is Katie. She the only thing popping over here. I don't know, Rob. You supposed to have this information.
Super lightweight is 140. I was just double checking that I was right.
Super lightweight is 135 pounds.
140 pounds.
You're wrong.
140 pounds is lightweight.
No, lightweight is 135 pounds.
All righty then. So the point is he's moving into the 140. So 140 means Maurice Hooker with the WBO.
Who's rumored to be going into the tournament?
Yeah, he's rumored to be going in. And Regis Progress, who has like a WBC silver. Jose Ramirez, I don't know if he's going in.
No, yeah, I doubtful. I don't know.
I don't know. So I don't know. I mean, look, 140, yeah, go in there, because if you come out of there beating up, Prograis, people are going to want to see a lot more of you.
That is true. Prograis has the momentum right now, I think. So who we have to see again.
Maurice Hooker has a title, and he's an Olympian, American Olympian. He just went to the UK. Even though that fight didn't look great, the story is there. American Olympian goes to the UK, wins a title, brings it back. There's a story, even if it's not true.
He won a decision. Don't forget that. We don't do dodgy cards over here.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't a fucking Chisora versus Malik Scott right there. Thank God.
But yeah, and strangely in that one, the UK guy gave it sort of wide to Hooker, and the US judge gave it wide to I forgot his name, Flanagan. So they kind of did what each other was supposed to have done.
So Enrique, go ahead and let loose, man. You've been wanting to talk about Oscar and Earl all day.
I guess so, man. I just, you learn from guys like Oscar when they speak out loud. Same thing with like Steven Espinoza when they speak out loud. All these guys, even Matchroom, Eddie Hearn. So I was just curious what he had to say. I didn't get to look it up because I was really busy. So I wanted to hear your side of things first, and then I would just have like assumptions, because I think that Oscar De La Hoya is educated enough. He did make Canelo Alvarez. That was one thing I read, that the biggest star right now in boxing is Canelo. I could kind of agree to that, and so can 2 out of 3 of us, at least on this panel list. Yes, right? Would you agree?
Yeah.
He's the biggest star, right? So obviously this guy has a blueprint to make a man with a celebrated name in boxing, period, only, Errol Spence. So, like seeing Claressa Shields and Christina Hammer on the same card, that's a way to build up a person or a fight, I would assume, or one can assume. So Oscar De La Hoya, I believe him. Who is Errol Spence? Management or not management, promoter? Those were the questions that I had. So I couldn't find those answers. So I thought his promoter was, Lou DiBella as well. So I might be wrong.
Oh, Earl?
Yeah, Errol.
Nah, Earl has no promoter.
Oh, so he's out there alone. So he believes he can make it without a promoter, but you know, we don't know his whole story, right?
Like, what don't you know? I don't know what you mean.
I mean, outside of boxing, you don't know where he came from, what his background is. As we know, what's her name? Claressa Shields, you know, who we can use for an example. Like right now, we're saying, yo, Claressa Shields has a hell of a backstory and is just all the time spoken about in boxing, fight after fight. It felt like she fought 2 weeks ago, you know what I mean? Against that girl. Errol Spence felt like he fought last year, even though he fought last weekend. But before that, it was like, damn, when did Errol Spence fight? Who was his last opponent?
January.
In January, but
Lamont
that's
Peterson.
not Lamont Peterson. But there's no, it's not out there like that, man. You could go in any barbershop and say, yo, Errol Spence is the truth. They're like, who he fought? Lamont Peterson. Oh, who's that? No?
So you believe Oscar then?
I believe Oscar can make him a bigger star tonight.
How would Oscar make him a bigger star tonight?
I think he will be on undercards. He got relationships with people. You know what I'm saying? Mikey Garcia is getting more information than Errol Spence right now. He's getting more match made than Errol Spence. Errol Spence is getting match made against one, Terrence Crawford. That's it. Mikey Garcia is getting match made against Terrence Crawford and all these other names.
I mean, I see that, but I could counter that. People have matched Earl up with everybody. I mean, so far we've obviously talked about Ulgas. We've talked about Vargas. We've talked about Terrence Crawford. We've talked about the winner of Garcia to Porter. We've talked about Kell Brook at 54. You know, we've talked to quite a few matches have been made by the public.
Listen, I believe Oscar, you need a promoter, man. You need a promoter.
I don't disagree. I don't know if you heard today's earlier morning edition. Shout out to all my morning edition rocking out with me. I said if I was Oscar, this is what I would do. Casual. You know who's Jamie Munguia?
I know the Munguia name, but I don't know if it's the same guy.
Beats Saddam Ali.
Tell me which one you know.
Okay, go ahead. I know the name now that he mentions Saddam Ali.
All right, so you remember him knocking out Saddam Ali, right?
Yes.
And do you remember what division that was?
I would guess it was 154 or 147.
Okay, so so far so good.
Right.
So far so good. So far, Munguia knocking out Saddam Ali, and credit to someone on this show. Someone on this show said, "Yo, they serving up Saddam Ali, Ness. They like Jamie more. He's Mexican. I'm telling you." And look, now Jamie's headlining versus Liam Smith July sometime. But here's my plan. If I'm Oscar De La Hoya, I sign Errol Spence today. I offer him in December. I offer him Jamie Munguia in Texas as a co-main event of a Canelo versus Gabe Rosado, whoever pay-per-view, right?
Right.
Or B, main event in anywhere in Texas versus Jamie for the 154-pound title. So now you become the only welterweight to hold the belt at welterweight and at 54. And that's only in 3 months. Does that do anything for you as a casual fan? Do you be like, hey, yo, you don't know that dude who he fighting he got 2 belts in 2 different like that doesn't do it for you as a casual?
Of course. I mean, that's what we want. We want stacked cards. So I like to see Errol Spence under a stacked card in like a co-main event, like you mentioned, Canelo Alvarez. I don't want to see Errol Spence versus El Capitan, who he fought last Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Or Kuzma.
Carlos Ocampos.
Ocampos. You know what I'm saying?
But does the Jamie Munguia fight?
Yes.
That do something like him moving up in weight to snatch a title.
Yes, the title on the line does do a lot for Errol Spence on the undercard.
Not for Earl, for you.
For me, yes, it does because
fan as a casual watching, like, what does it do for you? Like, do you like him any more than Crawford if he was able to do that?
I can't say I like him any more than Crawford, but I would say he's cleaning up and he's on the road to Crawford. You know what I'm saying? There's only one thing to do but face Crawford after that, right? Even though that will be 154. So am I off track?
Well, you wouldn't be off because in my world, he's going to keep both belts.
Right. So he would jump back down.
Well, because if he's now with Golden Boy, so now Golden Boy could turn around and say, Rob, Lucas Matisse, Manny Pacquiao didn't happen. They've only given us 500,000. They still got to give us 1.5 million to secure the purse. That shit's not happening. It was supposed to happen in July 28th or something like that. We're gonna give you now Lucas Matisse, Cinco de Mayo, another Canelo undercard. You and Lucas, y'all unify the IBF and the WBA. Does that make Earl any quicker of a star?
Yeah, I think so. I just think as soon as was it Wilder beat Ortiz, Oscar was straight out. I'd make Wilder pay-per-view star. He should be with me and all that. And it's as if as soon as a big fight looks on the horizon for someone, he's jumping in saying that he could do this for me. I can do this for this person. It's like he's trying to catch them at the right time when there's some big money to be made. I don't know.
So you're just saying he's just trying to get it. He's just trying to wet his beak.
Yeah. He done it when Wilder beat Ortiz, and it looked like the Joshua thing was right on the horizon. He piped up with a tweet, and I can make Wilder a star. I can make him huge in the US, and this, that, and the other. And now Spence and Crawford are being talked about. I know that's maybe a little further down the line.
I mean, if he gets him a television commercial that airs on ESPN, whenever there's a Golden Boy card, yes, he would make him a star. He probably could do the same for Errol Spence. Errol Spence ain't on no Tecate commercials, and I think that Oscar De La Hoya has that in the pocket to offer as well as those fights under the Canelo, momentum. So yeah, I believe that.
I want to say this though.
He can make that.
You brought up the Luis Ortiz fight with the Wilder, and Tyson Fury has been in the social media coming at Wilder. And I noticed Tyson Fury only has like 699,000 subs now. Wilder, remember the last time we said he was at 800, now he's over 900. So he's definitely gaining popularity. That profile definitely raising.
Yeah, definitely. I've noticed a growth. He's booming. But yeah, Tyson Fury being Tyson Fury at the yesterday, I think it was, calling out Wilder and saying about bringing up Mike Tyson's quotes, and he's saying he's more fear factor than Mike Tyson. So and Fury's like, I'll take him out in 5 rounds, and
you would doubt that yourself. So
yeah, I don't think he wants that smoke just yet.
I just want to know one thing, right? Some strangely, the views of Errol Spence, which I don't have, I think they were like 729 or 829,000 views last week, right? Ocampo, right?
Yep.
All right. And what was Deontay Wilder's versus? I'm just comparing heavyweight divisions. That's
Wilder does over a mil.
Over a mil. So I think that Errol Spence, Oscar De La Hoya looking for him is to double those numbers. I think he can, man. He owns a different weight class, man. Oscar De La Hoya, that is. So,
but that's the thing. He doesn't have any real fighters, though. If he doesn't do the crazy things that I'm saying, like how does he make Earl a bigger star at the welterweight division?
He has relationships. Or maybe he is the key to make him versus Errol Spence. Maybe Oscar De La Hoya Golden Boy production is the key to making the Terrence Crawford fight.
Yeah, but I spoke to Bob. That fight ain't even getting talked about till the world thinks it'll sell 500.
Exactly, and that's where Oscar De La Hoya is like, listen, let me do my job with the long-term plan with Errol Spence.
What's that plan?
I don't know. That's why I'm hoping that that you have that answer. The plan is you just got to listen to what he says. He may have a plan. Like, we're going to match you up. We're going to make you look bigger. We're going to do what we did with Canelo, with Kirkland, with Dan Dakota. I can't mention all these guys with whoever he fought back to back. The same thing, the same kind of route. Obviously different names, but names that will make him a bigger household name than he is today. So I don't have the exact details. I didn't think it through. I was hoping that we can make it up right now as a possibility.
If it's just in the welterweight division, I can't see anything other than the winner of Danny and Porter, or if Thurman was to come back, or Crawford. I don't think much else is going to do anything for Errol's like stardom or unless he produces like highlight knockout reels until he gets.
But that's easy. That's an easy answer that Errol Spence team can do by himself. It's the actual door opening. That's what Oscar De La Hoya presents. Against who and where, I don't know. Maybe on television. Maybe these highlight reels that we talk about during the fight while we're sitting at home on our mobile phones, stuff like that. So I don't think that Oscar De La Hoya signed to Oscar De La Hoya unless the money ain't right and the contract is wrong. That is a bad move. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the wording on the contract has to be reviewed and the prize fight journey has to be correct. So I do believe that a promotional team like Oscar De La Hoya is equivalent to signing to Walt Disney. You know what I'm saying? If you're an animator, to sign it to Pixar versus, Cyclone Pictures.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it on social media, you've got the likes of Matchroom and Golden Boy. They do a big media campaign on a social media campaign, letting you know all about every fight, every fighter. I know Matchroom does like 12 weeks to go, and there's like a little highlight, a small piece of video. Then it's like 10 weeks to go. Really, just for every fighter. So if you've got a machine behind you, you're better off than, because I think Errol's got man down promotions, but I don't know if he's going to try and sign fighters to man down promotions or what, or whether it's just about promoting himself. I don't know.
It's possible. It costs money to promote fighters and put fighters together. So my thing is this. What about Eddie? Has Eddie, why doesn't, or do you know the answer? Or maybe Ness, why doesn't did Errol Spence mention wanting to sign to anyone? You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
I think
offers from Eddie, from Top Rank, and from
Oscar.
Golden Boy. But Golden Boy is the only one that says, I can make you a star. Top Rank is like, I'll get you fights. Eddie Hearn is like, I get you a couple M's.
Well, Golden Boy can make him a star. What could Top Rank do? They have the mega fight, right? They have the missing piece. They have Terrence Crawford.
Exactly. So maybe the money's not right. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it has to be the money's right. The path has to be perfect. And I think Oscar probably can't present that. I'm just guessing, because he said, I'll make you a star. And he says, and he used his card, his biggest star. He's polished it and said, look, I got Canelo Alvarez. Who does Eddie have besides AJ? And AJ's heavyweight division is way different.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I think I just think I've seen things in the past. Errol's just happy doing his own thing, and I don't think a promotional company's.
Oh, you calling Errol Spence Gary Russell Jr. just happy with them 800,000 and stuff like that?
No. I'm not saying whether he's happy with the money. I think what was the guarantee, Nez? I think you said it earlier on the show. Is like 1.1 or 2 or something for this last fight, plus whatever he's getting these famous Al Heyman backroom checks or whatever. I don't know, but I think he's making decent money. Not just happy to sit there at 8,000, like you're saying, Gary Russell, but I think he's just happy.
And that was just allegedly talking out my ass of what I heard.
I just think he's happy doing things his way and not necessarily tied to a promoter. Whether that's a good idea, I don't think it is. I think these fighters should be able to just concentrate on the job in hand, and that's training for fights and whatever, and let a machine push you and
that sounds true, but you have to trust the machine. And at the end of the day, you don't just work for no reason. You work for a guarantee and insurance and pension and welfare and all that stuff. So, they need that. I just wonder how he does become a star, and why does he not want to sign with anyone? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to take the right dance partner, especially if you're talking Canelo being the pay-per-view star. Is Errol going to be a pay-per-view star? I don't know. I know that the Crawford fight is maybe the one that would push him across, but it's just becoming that pay-per-view star, because obviously Canelo's fought Golovkin and that's a mega fight, but he's also been pay-per-view for fights that not necessarily pay-per-view worthy, right? So
is Canelo the number one pay-per-view star, or is it AJ? And then who's number 3? You know how we used to have Mayweather, Pacquiao, Cotto. So who's the top 3 right now? Is there a third one that exists? Oh no.
Well, I mean, Yeah, I can't think off my head. I mean, we've had pay-per-views this side of the pond, but they're not going to, be any sort of numbers where you could easily say, oh yeah, they're number 3, but just because they done one, But yeah, it's just Canelo and then AJ. I think generating as far as what the money generates, I think Canelo's probably is number 1.
Can we count Terrence Crawford as pay-per-view now since we have this ESPN $5 app? Because I bought it. I mean, I subscribed for free, and now last week I got charged $5.
Yeah, well, you bought it. Charlie Man, the guy said he downloaded it on 105.5 or 1, whatever, and said he canceled before they charged him.
Yeah, because he wanted to see the fight, but then apparently now that's where the Lucas Matisse Pacquiao fight's gonna air.
Apparently you didn't listen. I told you that doesn't. It's not even finalized. There's $1.5 million that hasn't been sent to Golden Boy.
I remember hearing that.
Escrow.
I remember hearing that. So I guess I will unsubscribe, and it cost me $5. Like I'm sure other people have lost that $5 to watch the Earl Spence fight.
And there was, I think, news today that it's looking likely that Lomachenko is back at the end of the year, and I think Bob revealed that he will be
$5 app.
He'll be on the $5 app in his next fight. So, how many are paying to watch that one? Are you gonna pay for it again and pay to unsubscribe again? I don't know.
So the king of the $5. So it should be a one-time deal then, if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? Because there is not one thing I rewatched on the $5 app.
I thought you were excited last time we spoke.
I mean, I was excited because it had old stuff and it was the moment, and you're excited to watch the fight, and you got the fight, and you like, oh shit, I could watch that. But it wasn't something that I sat back down and said, yo, and it could be just my attention. You know what I'm saying? Like I would go sit back down and watch something on YouTube and listen to something on YouTube, but I don't do it to ESPN yet.
Okay. Yeah, nah, me neither, man. I'm not looking forward to all these extra services, man. I'm still hoping for the day that one could satisfy us all, but that'll probably never happen. So I guess we need to touch on a little bit of news and notes, right?
Let's hear it.
What do we got out there? We have the Benavidez thing, I think is worth a mention.
And a 70 thumbs up right now because of me. You know what I'm saying? Real live, real quick.
So you changing it to 70?
I just did.
Yeah, let me refresh, see where we at. That's 69, Kaz. What's up with that?
I don't know. I'm looking at the number 7 and a 0.
Yeah, definitely says 69.
Now it's at 72 on my side.
Yeah, I think I was 71.
Uh-oh. Momentum.
So there's been a deal struck, allegedly, rumor mill alert, for David Benavidez to defend his WBC middleweight, super middleweight title against mandatory challenger Anthony Durrell in his next fight. It is being targeted for September, according to ESPN. So what do you guys think about this? I mean, Anthony Durrell, I feel like, did they fight already? Like, how is Durrell still getting title shots? I guess that division is real thin. Like, I don't know. What is that? Super middleweight, right?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
I guess it's a good fight for David Benavidez because it's definitely a, live to fight another day type of fight. Like, I don't foresee Durrell being able to beat Benavidez, let alone beat him, where he loses shelf life, I think that Benavidez is definitely a star in the making. I'm sure he learned from that Ronald Graville fight. That's why he came back and put on the performance that he did. I think that he'll continue to progress because he's still very young. Very young. He's only 21, this kid. So I guess the Anthony Durrell fight is in the right direction. May not be the greatest matchup, but it's not the worst. It's not the worst. George Groves is obviously injured. And then that's going to put Callum Smith out of commission as well because he's waiting. Chris Eubank is coming off that loss, so he's not looking too good. You tried to sign with Top Rank, but you couldn't get out of your Samson Lewickovic deal, so you can't get that Gilberto fight. Now we got rumors of DeGale possibly fighting Billy Joe Saunders. So if you're Benavidez, Anthony Durrell is probably the biggest name out there that you can get. Yeah, unless you want to fight like Fedor Chudinov or German Branger or Arthur Abraham, who's already lost to Gilberto. Like, there's not any really sexy names in this division. It's very top heavy. And even James DeGale is starting to look like the bottom of the barrel. Jesse Hart, his biggest fight is versus Gilberto. So I don't know. I mean, it's thin. I guess that is a big name if you're David. That's the biggest you could get. I can see why he tried to sign with Top Rank to solidify that Gilberto unification. But since that couldn't happen, I guess Anthony Durrell's a good fight. What do you guys think? You rather not even watch it?
Jose Benavidez versus James DeGale?
Well, no. Jose's who you're probably going to be seeing versus Crawford. This is David, the brother.
Oh. I'm not really that interested unless it's undercard.
The guy that knocked out Porky Medina with like that 100 combination, you remember?
Yeah, you got to drop that. How about some hardcore? Because I don't know.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
How about for you, Rob? This made it across the pond to you? Like, what do you think of this news? Does it bother you? Not bother you, but do you care? Do you care enough? You're on mute, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I wasn't that impressed with him. Obviously, the Gavril the first time around, but he did a number on him the second time, so he kind of erased that slight blemish on there because a few people thought Gavril beat him the first time around. But yeah, I'm not like blown away by it. It is what it is. But if I'm awake and it's on TV, I'll watch it.
All right. Well, before we go out to the callers, also in action is Miguel Berchelt versus Jonathan Barrios. We got Virgil Ortiz, Golden Boy fighter, taking on Juan Salgado. Roberto Garcia, we spoke about earlier, replacing Billy Joe Saunders and taking on Martin Murray. Did that reach your casual radar?
Yes. I was more excited for Martin Murray versus Billy Joe Saunders, right?
Yeah.
That was who's on fire. I was more excited for that versus now it's who's the new opponent again?
Replacement.
Who is the replacement?
Roberto Garcia.
Don't know him, man. Do I know him? Do we know him, Robbie? What's his reputation?
I must admit, it was kind of a new name to me on that one, Roberto.
So it's Ivanez. It's Ivanez Marioshin.
Yeah.
He wish he was as accomplished as Vanez. I know Roberto. He's been there. He was even signed to Heyman at one point. He was going to get a Sean Porter fight, and I think he tested positive or he couldn't make the weight, something like that. Kind of always been there. He's a blue collar guy. His name is Roberto Garcia La Amenaza. So I mean, he was at 47, so obviously he's gone up. He's ballooned in weight, and that's why he couldn't make the weight for the Porter fight. So it's not a better replacement at all. If you're Roberto, it's probably the biggest fight Roberto's gotten thus far. So he's got to get this win and put this name on his resume. And for Murray, whoa, I mean, this is Crossroads at its finest. At its finest.
That's this Saturday, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I think the Saunders fight was going to be, kind of Murray's last shot, on the way out. He's and obviously that fell through, apparent injury.
Yeah, so he's trying to segue. He's trying to keep that momentum by he's got to get a win to still get that bon voyage kind of fight.
Yeah.
But, let's go out to these callers and sponsors. Anything you guys want to wrap up before we get out to these streets?
Yeah. So Claressa Shields, she's on Showtime.
Showtime tomorrow, though.
Showtime tomorrow. Oh, also tonight, Raquel Miller's fighting. I don't know if the results are in or if it has happened yet, but going since we're speaking female fights.
I didn't know it was tonight. I thought it was actually tomorrow.
Nah, I remember her clearly saying it's a Thursday night.
I seen her opponent. I wasn't too happy, but what are you gonna do, right?
What are we gonna do?
She needs to get with a big promoter, man. She needs to get with Dimitri Salita.
Speaking about promoters,
he's got the other big time,
Oh, Oscar should sign her. You know what I'm saying? Put her on the path to Claressa Shields. Make her a star.
I think Oscar has one. What weight is Marlon Esparza? But anyway, let's get out to these phone lines. First, a word from my Esperanzas.
El Camino.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Going out to New Jersey. I mean,
just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean. My man, get a cup and put some change inside your hand. Now hold up. Let's make this official. Everybody, let's agree with it.
BBV, what's good, fellas?
What's good? I mean,
what up?
Chilling, man. I'm listening to the show. I'm thinking about this weekend, man. There's a couple good fights coming on. I'm definitely excited for Claressa Shields. I was talking to somebody about it, and just in terms of seeing like how much recognition she's getting, is she well promoted? Not a lot of people, but I think it's Friday night, a prime time when you don't usually see women. I mean, she's the only one doing it. I think it's going to be a decent fight. I don't know too much about
Hanna,
man, Christina. I know one of them. Yeah. I know one of them is one of them that's fighting that gorgeous female fighter that
yes.
y'all was
yes.
I guess y'all.
Yes.
Okay. Good. See?
No. He's talking about Ness. You're saying yes, but I think he's talking about Raquel Miller.
Nah. He's talking about. You got to be talking about Hanna Gabriels, right? Or you think it'd be talking about Raquel Miller?
Yeah.
Nah, you got it mixed up, huh? Nah, because you were like, y'all met in Los Angeles.
Oh, you said that? He did say that?
Yes, that's where he was leading to, it felt.
Oh, you feel like you putting words in his mouth?
Yeah.
No, go ahead, finish up, fill in the blank.
Cass, you on point. When y'all was out there, I think there was a Triple G fight.
Yeah, that's Raquel Miller.
That's Raquel Miller. She's fighting tonight.
She's fighting tonight.
Okay.
Unless she fought already.
Okay. See?
Nah, she ain't fight already. It's
now you see what kind of promotion that is? Real easy. Like beauty is a hell of a fucking promotion. And I'm not saying that disrespectfully. Claressa Shields, she's a talented young lady and all that. But there ain't nothing like, being easy on the eyes, man.
Come on, she let her hair down for
pretty
the
much
face
right now, man.
All right,
listen, Claressa Shields, and listen. I'm just saying, real quick. She did that body edition. I'm not, because she's, a young lady and everything, but she's in great shape, man. And then next, you said earlier, moving down in weight. It's not easy for women to cut weight as easy as the fellas, man. So this is definitely a determined champ. And it's it for now. I may boomerang back in, but great show. Keep shit good, fellas, and man, y'all enjoy, man.
Thanks. Claressa got the headlines this weekend over all those fights. Every fight, I think, is more Claressa Shields. So
I mean, she's the GOAT, man. I mean,
she's the GOAT.
Accomplishments. She's 5-0. She's going for a second division world title shots here. So
more than Martin Murray. More accomplishments than Martin Murray in boxing itself on professional level.
Martin Murray has never been a world champion.
Never. Okay, so there you go. But this is female boxing, and whoever's behind her
isn't a world champion.
Say that again.
Josh Kelly isn't a world champion.
Josh Kelly's a prospect.
Josh Teller.
Josh Teller, he's a prospect.
World champion.
I forgot about him instantly, Rob. Sorry.
Postal only what? I think he didn't even get to defend the title. He lost it immediately to Crawford.
He was talk about,
Progress. None of those guys we talked about today, David Benavidez, yes, he's a champion.
Is Progress fighting this weekend?
Well, no, but we mentioned them because the WBSS is getting U.S. coverage for you. Guys like you can now watch the World Boxing Super Series tournaments. And this year, we're getting a 140-pound tournament, a super bantamweight tournament, plus a third tournament.
Yo, remember when we had Ann Wolf on as a guest a while ago, maybe a year or more ago, and she said Claressa Shields is not going to get the opportunities, not going to get the big fights?
Yeah.
So somebody was listening.
But there's a lot of names, though. There's a lot of names right now. You know what I mean?
There is a lot of names.
And they keep signing them. But let's go out to Texas. 214, you're up.
Yo, Ness, what up? It's Gary in Dallas.
What up, Gary?
I gotta take some issue with this Errol Spence going to Golden Boy plan you have for him. I think the names you have make sense. It's just the order is way out of whack. Like, so you think Oscar is gonna put his two biggest stars, not named Canelo, in the ring together for his first fight? That would be a horrible idea. Because one of them's gonna take a loss.
Nah, because Earl is worth more. Earl is worth more.
You're losing me worth more than
you're gonna want to build up
Jamie.
Listen, yeah, he is, but Munguia is that's
listen,
one of the
also Gary, just factor this into your scenario and in this world, all right? Oscar has to entice Earl. He already rejected him. So the whole point, the whole premise is, how does Oscar make Earl a star and get him more money than what he's making? So that's the best thing I could come up with.
Let me play it out, because let me give you a 4-fight plan. You have a 3-fight plan. I got a 4-fight plan.
Okay, let's hear it. You got the long-term plan.
The first fight is Matisse, right? Because Matisse, right now, especially if he beats Pacquiao, is still better than anything Al can give him. Okay? Then he calls up Eddie and gets him a Kell Brook fight at 54. Then he fights Munguia, and then he fights Canelo.
Brother,
that's
he
the
can't get the
plan.
Matisse fight. He want to fight in December. He ain't going to sign to no promoter that can't get him a fight in December. Matisse ain't available yet.
Matisse's fighting in July. Yes, he is. He's fighting in July, and then he can fight again in December.
That fight isn't official. That fight isn't official yet, bro. That fight's not official yet.
The Pacquiao fight?
Yeah.
I saw the whole card fight. I don't know. I mean, Pacquiao said it was going on. If that fight goes on in July,
listen to me. Of
then
course,
Matisse could come back easily in December.
Gary. Listen. Of course, Pacquiao is going to say that the fight is on. He's promoting it. Top Rank isn't promoting it. This is a Manny Pacquiao Promotions co-promoted with Golden Boy. They have yet to submit the $2 million deposit. They only put $500,000 down. The fight's in jeopardy. It's supposed to happen in a few days, bro. What are you talking about? Shit ain't happening.
And clarify for the casuals, who hasn't put the $2.5 million down?
What?
Who hasn't put the rest of the money down? Oscar?
Oscar.
Ooh, Oscar.
No, not Oscar.
Who?
Manny
ass batting.
Manny Pacquiao Promotions. They ain't come up with the other money. They only gave him $500,000 when they first signed it. They were supposed to send another 1.5. Hold on. They were supposed to send another 1.5. They're supposed to stay in escrow until after the fight.
Damn.
But that ain't happened. So they running down on a deadline.
Manny don't want that fight. He don't want that smoke.
Well, he can't get that money. He's trying to do it without Bob. He's trying to get as much money as possible.
And without our man Freddie Roach.
If you're Earl Spence.
If you're Earl Spence, why would you take Munguia as your first fight? If you wanted to fight at 54, Al could get you Swift hurt. So you wouldn't have to go over to Oscar to fight for a 54-pound title. You could just stay with Al and fight Hurt.
Doggy,
I think that's a terrible
doggy.
move.
Is Hurt as winnable as Munguia?
I don't know. I want to see Monkey again.
Of course it ain't.
Like a straight
of
killer.
course it ain't.
Yes.
Of course it ain't. You know it ain't. Hurt is proven. Hurt is proven. Don't go off this. I don't know. Don't. Come on, man. All the fucking fights Hurt. You see how disrespectful boxing fans are? Hurt beat everybody in front of him. That's a real name. Munguia beats a fucking welterweight, and you got the nerve to question Hurt? Bruh, man, get your shit together.
I'm not questioning Hurt. I think either one of them is terrible fight for Spence, right?
You are questioning,
but they're both really dangerous.
Gary, you are questioning
really
Hurt.
Dangerous.
You are questioning Hurt to say that Earl wouldn't have an easier time with Munguia than Hurt.
Did you see what Munguia did to a welterweight?
Brother, did you see what Jarrett Hurd did to Austin Trout and what Austin Trout did to fucking Jamel Charlo, or what Jamel couldn't do to Austin? Like, what are you talking about, bro? Did you see what he did to Harrison? Like, what are you talking about? Stop it. No, look, Munguia fights one fucking welterweight. One welterweight. Bro, whatever, man. You guys live in fantasy world. You're in a fantasy world right now. Listen, as a promoter, first of all, let me tell you something. No. Because first of all, why would Al Heyman put Errol Spence, a natural 147-pounder, in there with his unified 154-pounder, who the rest of the world besides Gary thinks is a tough fight? When, as a promoter, you're supposed to get your fighter the best fights with the least risk. Munguia is the least risk. You get him up there and you take that belt, and now this guy, all the writers are saying, oh, this welterweight that's as good as, Hagler. He can move up divisions. We haven't seen this since Sugar Ray. Come on, bro. Stop it, bro. He's simultaneously defending two titles.
If you're Oscar, don't you want to build up Munguia's name a little more? Like, let him beat up on Liam Smith.
What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking? Who the fuck is Munguia? He came out of nowhere. If you sell Munguia's soul to build up Earl, you're doing the right thing. You're building up the Olympian. Come on, how many fighters got sold up to Schitt's Creek to build up Canelo's resume? How many Jose Miguel Cottos, Alfonso Gomez's, Matthew Hattons? Come on, bro, stop. This is part of boxing.
Yeah, but Munguia's already a world champion. He can make money with Munguia already. He can't make Errol Spence money with Munguia. He can't make
I'm not even gonna argue with you,
he
bro.
Can make money with Munguia.
You like him. Okay, bro. All right. Munguia got a yo, there's an upside with Munguia. Hey, Casual, has Munguia made it to your Instagram feed?
He hasn't made it to my Instagram nor my Twitter. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't even know. That matters, right?
I don't even know his Instagram, bro.
Neither do I. But
I don't even know where he's from. Nothing.
I don't see the fight. The other fight pendants.
Talking about Oscar's gonna build him. Okay, what's his story? Anybody knows his story? Tell us. What's his story?
Saddam Ali,
154-pound champion who just knocked out Saddam Ali. I mean. He's 20 years old.
All right. The chat has spoken.
Right?
The chat has spoken. They said, why is this bum getting extra time? I'll see you later, Gary. Get your shit together.
Gary had like 5 rounds.
He had 10 rounds.
Yo, first of all, let me say, I don't play Showtime to see you all there not even putting a goddamn motherfucking effort. If I want to see some motherfuckers just fight, I pick up a fight with somebody in the street. Don't need that shit. You don't love that form I do? Just move along. Gone. Fuck you. Next. What a great show. Thumbs up, donate. Hey, yo! What's happening, people?
Okay, Georgie. What's up?
My nigga. Cash on my nigga. My love, guys.
Okay.
Few questions to Mr. Gibbs. Mr. Gibbs! Listen, brother. There's any way that we, the fans, can push the issue to make this woman fight 12 rounds in full fucking 3 millionth round? If this girl don't get no KOs, Sherry's not excited. And if Vegas is not excited, it's not going to reflect on the numbers. So, I mean, okay, they want to put it there on fucking main event. And then what? 12 rounds of shit? I cannot even remember when one of these girls knocked anybody out.
No.
Boxing is about that drama, that suspense, that fucking motherfucker got hurt, got back up. You know, so I mean, I try to support, I'm gonna watch it. But at the end of the day, these people gotta meet us halfway, because that bullshit gotta go longer.
Nah, it's dangerous if it goes longer. It's dangerous. It's for safety reasons. Same reason.
When the man is there.
Same reason why, you know.
We gotta be.
Same reason why championship fights are only 12 rounds and not 16, how they used to be. Health comes first.
Talking about 12 rounds, I don't want to go back in the history. I just want to be just as the man. That will bring more excitement. Yeah, let the bitch go out on a fucking stretcher.
Nah, don't say that.
Excited. That's what we want to see. Bro, let me give a shout out to the UK. My niggas always on that shotty, holding it down. To the USA, to the world. Wakanda forever, baby. But no fear monger. Under the Black Panther with the unity. I'm Maori. One love.
One love.
Later, Georgie.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Hyped up Georgie Porgy, that is.
Nikki, what up?
What's happening?
Let's hear it.
Nikki, where are you from? UK or Australia?
I'm from the UK.
So you know Josh Taylor, don't you?
I know Josh Taylor.
So talk about him.
Bruv, he's got a lot of potential, mate. I'm telling you. What he did to O'Hara Davis was good, mate. Believe me. There's a lot of people thought O'Hara Davis was the man. Hard hitter, very, very hard hitter. You know, O'Hara was giving it all the big one to him. He's one of them guys who you don't really think he's all that until you see him getting with somebody good and you see what he does to him, and you know he's fundamentally sound, and he took him apart, bro. Honestly, he made O'Hara Davis quit, and you know that was a statement, bro. Believe me, everybody. I remember Barry McGuigan was in Eddie's face, bro, charged up, bro, going nuts, because you know that them two don't get on. Barry McGuigan and Eddie don't get on at all, and that was a big thing riding on that. You know what I mean? And Josh Taylor, bro, he put him right in his place, bro. Believe me.
And how well do you know Viktor Postol, and how do you see that fight tomorrow?
I don't really know. I know Crawford dealt with him, but I don't really know too much about him, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, I'll have to check him out, to be honest with you. All I know is Crawford took him. What did Crawford? Did he beat him in? He did beat him in points.
Yeah, he UD'd him. He unanimously decision. He got a UD on him.
Did he?
Yeah, but like an embarrassing one. Like he outscored him round after round after round, just like he did Jeff Horn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Josh Taylor does that.
Right.
Be surprised. I'm telling you, the guy's got skills, mate. He's one of the best Scottish boxers. I think he could be potentially one of the best ever.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, he's that good, bro. He's so fundamentally sound and he's so skillful. And what he did to O'Hara Davis, bro, he made O'Hara Davis turn his back on him, bro. You know what I'm saying? He turned his back on him. He didn't want to know. He was closing his eyes up, pretending he's got something in his eye and all this.
Wow. So you're giving James Taylor the TBE. Josh Taylor, that is. You just said he's the best ever.
See, man. See.
Well, Nikki, thanks for calling in, brother. I think this is JD 419. 419, you're live. Who's this? 419-349.
Yo, it's Ron.
Oh, Ron, I'm
It's
sorry.
Ron G. You're
What's
mastermind.
up?
It's all good. Pretty much, I wanted to say, just to talk about Gary. I want to ask the chat, who picked Sadal Ali to beat Miguel Cotto?
I did not.
Okay. So, exactly. That's the whole point. So, when he won and he beat old Miguel Cotto, okay, he fought Jaime Munguia. People didn't know who he was. He wasn't signed to anyone. He wasn't signed to Golden Boy at the time. So Oscar likes to do these little deals where he'll sign you in order for you to get the opportunity to fight somebody. And that's pretty much how Jaime came about. So he was always going to be some sort of sacrificial lamb if Sadal Ali won. So if Earl went over there, we all know. Yeah, I don't have to get past, ignore that whole thing. I just wanted to get that point across. But shout out to you guys for staying working all the time. Did you guys come across talk about the Brandon Rios and Victor Ortiz fight possibly being made?
I saw that.
You could bring it up.
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't because it's like, yo,
It's a fantasy fight for right now. No?
It's just like
It is. It'd probably be like a fun fight.
I would give it to Ortiz.
Ellie setback. He did the whole interview. You give it Ortiz?
I would.
I'll probably give it Ortiz too. I think that if Ortiz wins that, he could be somewhat of like a name for some sort of sacrificial for one of the bigger guys in the welterweight division. So maybe that if no one wants to fight Earl or Earl doesn't get his fights like with Jesse Vargas and things like that, maybe that might be someone we can probably see Errol Spence maybe beat up. Just saying. But that's it. That's my call. You guys have a good show. Take care.
Thanks.
Later on.
All right, Ron, thanks for calling in. So I guess what else do you guys got here?
I just scratched my temple and was asking myself, is this weekend really an exciting boxing weekend? I don't think so. The only little bit of excitement is like, let's see what Claressa Shield card has, you know what I'm saying, to offer. The Josh Taylor sounds good, but I don't think we have access to that in the United States, man. So
probably
there you go, Cyclone Promotions.
Psycho.
Get on that $5 app, man. Make that shit worth it.
No, it's just one of those weekends, I guess. It's just not going to be stacked. And
I mean, I'm not feeling too bad about the weekend. I'm excited about the Claressa card. I hope that it produces the excitement. Like you said, it's good promoting. They have her counterpart on the undercard. Hopefully it produces some excitement. Let's go out to Mike. Mike, talk to me.
How's he? Yeah, what's up, man? I'm looking forward to the Claressa Shields and Hanna Gabriels fight tomorrow. I think it'll be a pretty good fight. But to the UK caller talking about Josh Taylor, I don't know if he could be the best of all time, but I think he could be pretty good. It was impressive how he dismantled O'Hara Davis. And speaking of O'Hara, he's back in action tomorrow on the yard. I mean, not tomorrow, but Saturday on the yard in Dubois and Murray card. I'm excited to see Daniel Dubois back in the ring. I think Tom Little got under his skin, but I don't know if that was a good thing because Tom Little is a domestic fighter, and I don't think you should poke the bear if you just only really like a domestic fighter. And I think Daniel Dubois might end up being the real deal. Also, with the Viktor Postal, yeah, this is a true crossroads fight for him because if he doesn't win, then where does it really go from here? I mean, it's kind of tough, and he hasn't fought in a while. He was supposed to fight Regis Prograis, but he pulled out. So, and I do believe the winner is going into the WBSS. I think Kel Saunders had a interview with IFL, and I believe he said they were trying to get the winner to enter the tournament. So it can be a good little deep tournament. Also, what I was gonna say, I forgot what the hell I was gonna say.
Well, all right, Mike.
And Nikki said, I want to clarify something because Mike was like, yeah, he does see him as the TBE, but Nikki said TBE in Scotland, the Scottish fighter, the best ever Scottish fighter. Josh Taylor, that is.
Well, Josh Taylor certainly got a lot of promotion around here. So
exactly, man. Send that check.
Credit to
Robbie.
Yeah, Rob, you're doing your job. This is what you're supposed to do. You know, give those UK fighters that deserve the mention a mention. Force us to watch. Some of us may, some of us may not. But you will probably turn over a few.
Right.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, like I said before, if you haven't seen him, check him out on YouTube, someone like that, or that Daily Motion or whatever. He's a skilled fighter and big things around the corner, I think, for him.
Definitely. Slow weekend, I guess, so I can get why the casual will say it. But big fight in terms of unifications and good cards. You know, you got a bunch of titles on the main event and Kona main event. So I'll be tuning into this one. I'm actually going to be out of town. I got to get with our sponsor, El Camino. So I'll be out of town in Vegas.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services.
They sure are. So I'll be over there from, Friday to Monday, talking business. Shout out to Mo on the super chat. Salute, fellas. #TBV, #Patreon Mo. Appreciate the love for sure. I'm your host, Nesta Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter @NestGTO. Igloo. Shout out to Igloo. We'll miss you, Matt. Yeah, we'll miss Matt too. Matt #MattStats will live on forever. So yeah.
Yes, I want to know if El Camino drives an electric vehicle. You know what I'm saying? If he has solar panels, shit like that, I need to know. So bring that back, Ness. You know what I mean? But anyway, since you're out there talking business and we're out here doing business, you can follow me on Twitter, TBV_casual fan. My Instagram is @FightTalk. I also have my Patreon page, Well, that's patreon.com boxingfan. Shit. My bad, guys. Let me correct that. I was going to say the Boxing Voice, you know, his Patreon page, but I have one, patreon.com/boxing fan apparel. I've been busy last 2 weeks, but I am back.
I don't know if I'm muted. Yeah, you catch me on Instagram and Twitter @UKRobTBV. Yeah, slow week, but can't have all the big fights every weekend. Deontay, hope you're looking for your pen. Yeah, later.
Bad.
I'm actually gonna give one of our alumni a chance. He called in earlier, dropped off, and he's back. Robert Ortiz, what up? Late face.
Well, I was early and then I was late, man. But you had the outro music and everything, man. Holy
yeah, the credits were rolling. Now you like after the credits.
I know. I'm like that thing that Marvel fans like, that they're just like addicted to. They're like heroin addicts, man. It's just like oh, I love that movie because it gives me a preview for the next movie, but I never actually liked the movie.
So give us the preview. What's going on, Josh Taylor?
So no. I actually wanted to call in with the whole, Oscar De La Hoya, Errol Spence thing, and because I've heard him say that a number of times about a number of fighters, like you mentioned earlier, Joshua and now Spence and stuff. My question, I say this to prove my point, but also genuine, because I don't want to sound too ignorant, so I'm admitting I'm ignorant. How many stars has Oscar built to pay-per-view status in the last, let's say, since like 2010? So 8 years. Like, how many stars has he built up to a pay-per-view status? How many stars has he even put in a legit arena status? Outside of obviously Canelo, how many has he done that for?
Off the top, I don't know. I'm not the guy, but I will fall into the optical illusion that he brought like Danny Garcia into like a big arena when Danny was on the undercards of, you know, Floyd fights. That may be due to something else when Floyd was in partnership with Oscar De La Hoya. So I would say a lot of the PBC fighters that he lost, he helped fill the arenas with them, make them names. I don't know what the actual job is of a promoter, but I would say there was once upon a time where back-to-back fights, it was all Golden Boy, where I used to wish that I had his job.
And okay, well, since that split, right? Since all of them left, which was around 2012, is when everything started to shift. I can't think of a single one, not even one. So it's kind of like, what do you do? Like, where do you trust? The one thing I'll say with Spence is in this business, what makes a star is sharing, you know, the card with another star. You know, if you fight a big name, beat him, you become a big name. And for Spence, that carrot is Canelo Alvarez. For anyone else, I don't know. I don't know that he can make a star out of anyone else. It seems like everyone else is doing it except him. So
who else though?
Jim, that's it.
Lou DiBella?
I mean, these promoters have gone into the way of, which is what I always wondered. Why can't promoters promote fights? Why do they have to promote fighters? You know, now that because they invest all that stuff, but a stable is why you do it. You know, so I don't know. Hopefully, you guys can go off that.
I think there's no fight without a fighter. So you have to build a fighter, like Keith Thurman would say, to have the fight. You know what I'm saying? Am I wrong?
Yo, people are horrible in the chat. Yo, we are out. Yeah.
Cut it, cut it, cut it.